What's up, guys? Coach Vassar. Thank you for joining me with OTF Audio Daily Beats. If you're new to this, appreciate you tuning in, listening to me talk about these workouts as I break down what we're going to see. If you find value in them, information is in the description of the video to support me, and I appreciate that. If you have any feedback, let me know. I'll preface this saying that I actually left my mic at home, so if you hear any background noise, I am so sorry. I'm filming this at the studio while someone else is coaching classes right now. We're going to talk about Thursday, October 2nd, one of our specialty themed workouts called Drop It Like a Squat for National Leg Day. We're gonna see endurance on the treads, rower, weight floor. We'll talk about the 2G, talk about the 3G, and then wrap it on up. In full honesty, I don't remember when we did this last time, but I know we have done this before. Treads, what we are gonna see today is endurance on there with pushes that get shorter and shorter blocks where you surge in intensity. And then on the rower, you choose to either squat or upper body, and then hop on your rower to keep that heart rate elevated. And then on the floor, it's called Drop It Like a Squat for a reason, so expect a wide variety of squats to challenge the lower body. Dumbbells you'll need out today, that is it. If you want to have benches out as one of the coach's choice movements, think about that and the space required. But let's talk about the treads first. So blocks 1 and 2 will then repeat for 3 and 4. So 1, 3, 2, 4, those are matched up. And then block 5 is a bonus block where we'll see some peaks and valleys. Block 1 and 3, endurance work here. We're gonna start off with a 1-minute push followed by a 45-second base. And that's the paired efforts that we're gonna see on repeat, but the push does decrease from 1 minute to 45 to 30, and then a 15-second all out at the very end. So the intention here is to increase the intensity as it gets shorter and maintain that very short 30-second base. So 1 minute push, 30 base, blah, 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 blah. Power walkers start at 6% greater. Joggers and runners, if they start about 1, definitely room to add to it. If they start more aggressive, maybe not as big as jumps. Bikes and striders, keep them about 3 gears over base, and then every round, if they can add a gear or increase RPMs, either way, their watts will go up, which means the intensity is higher. What we're going to see is this is a primer block essentially for the next part, because we want them to kind of flutter between that green and orange, between that push and base. And then they have a 1-minute walk recovery after that very aggressive 15-second all out. Now block 2, this is a 3-minute surge and return. So on the template, it says 30 push, 15 surge, repeat like that a bunch of times. Rather than approach it that way, treat it as a forecast of treads. We're going to see a 3-minute push where every 30 seconds we're going to surge for a short time. So we want a speed that they can maintain and be able to come back to. Because obviously if they start with a 30-second push, they're going to be pretty aggressive, but then they're going to have to tap up and come back to that aggressive pace. So approach it as a 3-minute push instead. So power walkers, they say 8% or greater, but if they want to do that, maybe increase the speed, because that's what we're looking to do. And then be able to hold that incline. But joggers and runners, if they start more of like a mid-range push, 1 to 1.5, and then on the surge, increase by 0.1 or more, and then come back, right? If that conservative push was plenty of work the first time, cool. But if it wasn't that bad, because we're repeating these, now we could go more aggressive on the second time, okay? And then we're gonna see block 3, repeat of block 1. So 1 minute, 45, 30, and then the 15 all out. And then, just notice this, but the third push is 30 seconds on there instead of, it's supposed to be 30, but it says 45. So we shall see if they update the template, and if they do, I'll definitely make note of that. And then block 4, to repeat of that 3-minute surge and return, establish that push intensity, increase speed for 15 seconds, and then return to that push for the next 30. So once again, if they did that conservative push for 3 minutes and they bumped it up every 15 and that was, or every 30 and that wasn't too bad, cool, let's do something more aggressive, right? If that was still pretty challenging and that was tough for them to do, keep doing that. Block 5 is a bonus block. We're gonna see a total of 4 all outs with a 30-second walk recovery after each one. So we'll start with 1 minute, 45 seconds, 30 seconds, and then a 15-second all out. Now, one thing to keep in mind with that 15-second all out, it takes some time for the incline to go up. So definitely when we are about 10 seconds out, start having the power walkers bring that incline up. Joggers and runners, about 5 seconds out, hit that speed. So by the time you do 3, 2, 1, the treadmill is at that speed, so they could use it for the full 15. And then they'll walk it down, celebrate their success, and they are done with the treads. And then they move on to a plethora of squats today. So block 1 and block 5 are the same. We're going to see rep and recover as the theme. We're going to begin with 1 minute of a bodyweight squat, and then they have 30 seconds to complete 10 squat jumps with elbows wide. So those elbows pulled back, retracting the shoulders, getting that upper back activation as they do squat jumps for 10 reps. Obviously they could do that position, but do a squat to toe as an option. It should take them around 10 to 15 seconds, so they get 15 to 20 seconds to catch your breath. Round 2, the timed movement becomes shorter, but we add weight. And then the third one, it's going to increase range of motion for even less time. So round 1, we start off with an alternate and step out squat for a minute. It's body weight, start nice and tall, step out, lower down, come back up, and then hit the other side. And then they have the 30 seconds for the squat jumps for 10 reps. Round 2, goblet, alternate and transverse squat. Probably use like a light to moderate weight. We'll probably get about 10 to 12 reps per leg for 45 seconds. And then they're going to see the squat jump elbows wide again. And then the final round is going to be the alternating tall kneel to squat. So they start on the knees, one foot steps up, come up, stay all the way up, and then all the way back down onto the knees. So a lot of hip mobility involved and positioning accruement to that. And then of course they hit that squat jump with elbows wide. When they recover, they rest. And then when the treads hit that 15-second all out on the floor, they're going to do speed squats. That's just a bodyweight squat, but the hands are used to help generate some speed. So as they squat down, their hands go down. As they come up, they want their hands to shoot up fast. Okay. Now, block 2 and block 4 from the treadmills, those 3-minute blocks, those are going to be very short blocks, and those are actually going to be block 1 and block 2 for the rower. And for block 1, what we're going to see, rower block 1 is a member choice of either 10 goblet squats or 10 hammer curls, and then a 100-meter push row. So they could do more squats and row, or they could do some upper body work and then hit that push row. And the idea is just using that row to get that heart rate up, give their legs a break from weighted movement if they're doing the hammer curls, or strengthen the legs if they're doing the goblet squats. Okay. After that 3-minute block, you'll come back to the floor. The treads are now doing that repeat of block 1 on the floor. It's going to be a coach's choice squat for 10 reps, followed by bicycle crunches for 16. And one thing to kind of be aware of here is we're already hitting all the planes of motion in this workout. So choose any squat variation from the exercise library. Get creative. You could do something that starts and ends in a squat. So like a plank pop, because you start in that squat, hop out, come back. That's a great idea. You could do some unilateral squat work. So like a single leg squat with the straps, or like a single leg sit to stand if you have benches out already. So a lot of ways to kind of play around with it, especially since we're doing so many different like bilateral squat movements. Okay, after that short 4-minute block, then we go back to the rower, and then now it's either sumo squat or a single dumbbell overhead tricep extension, and then that 100-meter push row. And then the final block, it's a repeat of the rep and recover from block 1, and same thing. So the step out squats and then squat jumps for 10. Alternating transfer squat jumps for 10, and then tall kneel to squat jumps, and then speed squats as the finisher. Now when we look at the 3G, we're going to see 3 blocks on the treads, 2 blocks on the rower, 3 blocks on the weight floor. So the treads, we're going to see blocks 1 and 2 from the 2G, and then block 5 as well. There's still a minute 30 to recover between each block compared to the 2G, where there was only 1 minute between blocks 1 and 2. So just keep that in mind. Now, so block 1 on the treads, same thing, 1 minute push, 30 base, and then 45, 30, and then they finish with that 15 all out. with those 30-second bases after each one. Block 2, it's that 3-minute surge and return. Because it's the 3G, maybe have them try to do a 30-second push that they could add and come back to. And then on the third block, it's the all-out and walk recovery for the peaks and valleys that we saw before. Now for the rower, we're going to see dumbbell movements here. Of course, if they want to use Y-bells, they could use Y-bells, but we're going to see a single arm shoulder press for 10 reps per side, and then a single dumbbell tricep extension for 10, and then a 200-meter push row. They'll rest, and then they'll repeat. This is an endurance block, so for this push row, using stored programs, we want them to finish around the same time every round. Stroke rate probably about 26 to 28. Leg drive, keep it right in that mid-range, so a push row, hopefully we see like 5 to 10 seconds under the base split time, and like a leg drive of like 7 out of 10, okay? Row block 2 is timed up with the treads, and the goal is to increase the all-out row intensity as the duration gets shorter. So how much higher can they get their watts and keep them there from 1 minute to 45 to 30 to a 15-second all-out row? And they want to row the entire time. So after the all-out, they don't rock their handles, they recovery row, let the watts drop, let the water slow down, and then they wrap it back up. And then the weight floor stuff. We're going to see blocks 1 and 3 are the rep and recovers. And then the middle block, block 2, is that coach's choice block of either 10 squats of their choice, and then of the coach's choice, paired up with the bicycle crunch for 16 reps. 90 seconds between each block to recover and explain, so plenty of time for you to give that information of what they need to look for. Other than that, that's going to be Thursday, October 2nd. Drop it like a squat. Coach it down.